Hello, and welcome back to Tidbit of Torah. I was driving home with my 7-year-old daughter the other day, and she asked me a fascinating question. She said, Ima, when I have $100 in my piggy bank, will I be rich? I responded to her by paraphrasing Pirkei Avot and saying, Liel, you'll be rich when you appreciate what you have. I know that may not be specific, but Judaism teaches us that richness is not a number, but rather an attitude of gratitude. I was paraphrasing Ben Zoma in Pirkei Avot, who teaches Ezihu Asher Hasameach Bechelko, who is rich, one who is happy with one's lot. This mindset of appreciating what we have as the real richness comes up in a profound way in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Yitro, when we read the 10 Commandments. The 10th and final commandment is, Lo tachmod beit re'echa. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. And then the Torah goes on to say, and you shouldn't covet your neighbor's spouse or slave or animals or anything that is in your neighbor's house. And by extension, in today's world, you shouldn't covet your neighbor's iPad or iPhone or their Tesla or their vacation house or their dog, etc., etc., etc. This is such an important commandment that the Midrash teaches us that it was specifically placed as the 10th and final commandment because all the other commandments are dependent upon it. And to hint that anyone who fulfills the commandment, do not covet, it's as if they fulfilled the entire Torah. In other words, if I do not covet, I am more likely to refrain from the other commandments, like committing adultery or murder or idolatry. Or if I do not covet, I'm more likely to have room in my life to be able to show respect for my parents without distraction or mistaken values, or to be able to have space in my life to honor Shabbat and its peaceful simplicity. Sometimes we read through the 10 Commandments and they can feel distant or even extreme to us. I don't know about you, but I've never felt tempted to commit idolatry or murder. And yet, when we look through the commandments, through the lens of desiring what other people have, or FOMO, wanting what others are doing for ourselves, we can see the real danger in this mindset and how the spiritual life is one in which we can feel instead that our households and our hearts are not half empty, but rather are overflowing. There's a beautiful tradition on Friday night in which we hold a cup of grape juice or wine, and we fill it not half empty, not even full, but overflowing. This cup symbolizes the beauty of honoring Shabbat and having full joy, but it also symbolizes the aspiration of how we want to feel emotionally, spiritually, materially, and otherwise. To be able to turn our feelings of lack into a feeling of blessing for what we have, in order to turn that feeling of desiring what others have and coveting into an attitude of gratitude and an appreciation for everything that we have and how our lives are overflowing with blessing, even if we don't own everything that we might want or we could have. To be able to hold in our hearts all that we do have, and to be able to share that attitude with our children and all our loved ones. What a wonderful invitation that Parshat Yitro brings us and that we can take with us into Shabbat and into our lives. Shabbat Shalom.